Most people who know me and watch my interviews know that I've never been this quiet in an interview. And
Sorry.
what is the reason you said no to Sajan and Maine Pyar Kiya?
No, I didn't say no to that. Forget about it. I don't want to talk about it. मेरे career पे जो भी है, but I'm basically a backseater, and when on the set everybody used to say, दादा अपना सबसे सीनियर है, वो फ्रंट बेंच स्टूडेंट है, तो मेरा ऐसा ही है, मैं वैसा ही हूँ. आई एम स्टूडेंट काइंड ऑफ अ गाय. वो डायलॉग मेरे लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है अपना जुबली में. जो आदमी कम बात करते वो आगे निकल जाते, तो आई डोंट गिव आंसर्स टू एनीबडी. सिनेमा जो करते हैं ना, वो कभी कभी रुथलेस हो जाते हैं. वो होना पड़ता है, अदरवाइज इट्स अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट प्लेस.
What the how can this man look so good at this age?
Namaskar, this is Prosenjit Chatterjee. You are watching me on Mirchi Plus.
Well, 40 साल का करियर, 300 फिल्में, एक्टिंग की मास्टर क्लास कहे जाने वाले, एंड बिकॉज मेरा इंटरव्यू है तो ऑब्वियसली आई से व्हाट द रियल स्टफ इज. पहली बार ऐसा हो रहा है, एंड आई एम गोइंग टू टेल यू दिस, दैट एवरीबडी इन माय ऑफिस, स्पेशली द गर्ल्स, वर सेइंग what the how can this man look so good at this age? Have you ever heard that kind of a compliment?
Not. Yeah, this second one is okay, but
पहले वाला
whatever. Yeah, but I'm blessed. Yeah, I'm so happy, and the kind of the kind of energy and the kind of song, and I dance when it was so heart touching. It was so nice. बहुत अच्छा लगा.
बट सर आप एक बात बताओ कि हाउ डू यू डू दिस, मतलब कहाँ पे मुर्गा काट रहे हो, व्हाट आर यू डूइंग दैट यू स्टिल लुक सो यंग? आई रियली वांट टू नो दैट.
मतलब ये मेरा कॉमन क्वेश्चन है. मतलब दिस इज अ वेरी कॉमन क्वेश्चन. आई थिंक it's something else I do. I try to be little disciplined and थोड़ा सा मतलब dieting and
workouts.
2.5 hours workout.
That I've read about you.
वो मेरा प्रॉब्लम है. यू विल बिलीव, आज मेरे को बताया गया था कि मेरा बहुत सारा काम है, यहाँ पे आना है और भी कुछ है, एंड आई विल बी गोइंग बैक इन अनदर 2 days. तो मैं सोचा यार आज छोड़ दो, मैं नहीं करता हूँ. बट कुछ होता है ना, रात को सुबह 7 बजे उठ के मैं आई कॉल्ड अप माई ट्रेनर. आई सेड मैं आता हूँ, एंड आई वेंट एंड 2 hours आई कंप्लीटेड. At least 1.5 hours I did. You see, even I don't get a time, I will finish it off in 45 minutes, but I try to get in, मतलब वो करूँगा मैं.
Yeah. Amongst other things that I've read about you, this I read that आपको workouts कभी miss नहीं करना. But there was another very interesting thing that you are a part of
food habit also.
Food habits also.
Food habit is a very important thing.
So what kind of food do you?
I mean, it's not a kind of food. I think what I always tell it to, you should eat, but try to avoid few things like जंक फूड और लिटिल बिट ऑफ ऑयली थिंग्स एंड ऑल. ये थोड़ा सा मतलब उसको मेंटेन करना है. प्रॉपर टाइम पे खा लो. मतलब इवन यू हैव अ लिटिल बिट टाइम, यू जस्ट टेक दैट, बट वो टाइम मेंटेन करना बहुत जरूरी है.
All thanks to your diet and all thanks to everything, you looked fantastic in Jubilee. Not just looked, I think when I saw, I was literally taken to that world. I want to know from you that when you were offered this project and कि एक period drama होने वाला and all that stuff, were there any reference points for you or you just played it by your own gut?
देखिए, reference point मतलब क्या है? Because I was the senior most in the group and I've been working for so many years, and I'm from this industry also. My dad was a big star, so I knew few things, and I think when Vikram told me, first of all, I agreed because I really wanted to work with him. He's a wonderful director to work with. And I in Calcutta also do work with young, edgy directors nowadays, last at least 10, 11 years. So मैंने को वो तो एक, then when he told that this is the era, I thought I should be part of it. Number one, we really don't have any proper documentation. We talk about Indian cinema.
Correct.
And it's a huge thing.
Huge.
But honestly speaking, whether it's Hindi, Bangla, it's a huge contribution, but we somewhere don't have proper documentation. You will not get a proper film of Mrinal Sen, Satyajit Roy. ऐसा बहुत बड़े director. So I thought, in a way, somewhere this work where we all can give a kind of a tribute to those people who had made Indian cinema.
Oh.
And finally, the Srikanth Roy character, I think, I mean, no actor will say no to it.
Yeah.
I think, and that's not a reference. I will tell my only reference point as a director. Vikram said, he just told me कि दादा मुझे और कुछ नहीं चाहिए, आपको समझाना नहीं है, but I just need Godfather. That's.
I love the way while you're talking also, it suddenly became.
So I need a Godfather.
Yeah.
So I think Godfather, I have not done Godfather, but वो जो Godfather के अंदर, you see this Shrikant Roy is not a bad man.
No.
Though in the entire show he is the most, difficult person.
Correct.
Basically.
Correct.
But once he is no more, you will feel bad about this man, because whatever he was doing for this passion of cinema.
Yeah.
And he wanted to save. He has that passion to introduce so many things. He was just ruthless. But cinema जो करते हैं ना, वो कभी-कभी ruthless हो जाते हैं. Believe me, वो होना पड़ता है. Otherwise, it's a very difficult place.
Correct. So, honestly, Shrikant Roy was the center of everything in Jubilee, if you talk about. Besides Shrikant Roy, आपने कौन से कैरेक्टर से रिलेट किया?
मैं तो सबसे ज़्यादा रिलेट अपने साथ करता हूँ श्रीकांत रॉय को. बिकॉज इफ़ यू सी, आई मीन ऑफ कोर्स इट इज़ इन बंगाली एंड इंग्लिश, बट आई हैव अ बायोपिक काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग. मैंने लिखा था, तो उसमें भी मैंने लिखा था कि ये मेरा ब्रांड मैंने प्रोसेनजीत तैयार किया बंगाली में 40 साल से. अगर मैं बहुत वैसे भी बहुत शांत आदमी हूँ, मेरा कोई वो नहीं है. आई डोंट गो फॉर एनी काइंड ऑफ समबडी टेल्स मी. वो डायलॉग मेरे लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है अपना जुबली में. जो आदमी कम बात करते वो आगे निकल जाते. तो आई डोंट गिव आंसर्स टू एनीबडी. इट्स माय वर्क हु गिव्स द आंसर. बट फॉर मी इट इज लाइक एनीबडी हैज दैट ब्रांड. ये तो स्टूडियो है.
करेक्ट.
कोई भी अपना ब्रांड, वो क्रिकेटर भी हो सकते हैं, आपका भी. अगर कोई ब्रांड अपना तैयार करे ना, तो उसको प्रोटेक्ट करना भी आप ही का काम है.
Correct.
तो वेयर दैट आई थिंक आई रिलेटेड.
Ajay sir, I want to ask you one thing. That 40 साल you have given to cinema, and people
Only cinema.
Only cinema. That's very interesting. So I want to know that Bengali cinema की ऐसी कौन सी चीज है that probably you would like to bring to this Hindi industry or
Literature.
Oh,
Literature.
hey, that's a fantastic
I
answer.
think in when we were celebrating 100 years of Indian cinema, even Amit ji told, I mean, Bangla has really that literature. It's like it's a volume of literature. आप कुछ भी बोल, एक राइटर का जो कहानी है, and Devdas and Pudinika, and all was from Bangla literature. So I think that's a very strong point. And today's date, of course, one thing is cinema, and with the help of OTT, I think there are a lot of things to expose. The kahani and the period and today's story also. I think literature, which I really want to bring to the national platform. Abhi to pan India ho gaya na.
Correct. That's what.
This is a very good time to, yeah.
So now the next question is, because for this Gen Z generation of Hindi cinema who is just about discovering your great work, do you or will you be seen in more pan-India projects, and any that you could name right now?
हाँ जी, अभी नाम तो नहीं ले पाऊँगा. There is lot of narrations और ये सब चल रहा है. But I am a very cool guy. बहुत मतलब वो बैकसेट वाला आदमी हूँ मैं. मेरे करियर पे जो भी है, बट आई एम बेसिकली ए बैकसेटर. एंड व्हेन ऑन द सेट एवरीबॉडी यूज्ड टू से दादा अपना सबसे सीनियर है, वो फ्रंट बेंच स्टूडेंट है. तो मेरा ऐसा ही है, मैं वैसा ही हूँ. आई एम स्टूडेंट काइंड ऑफ अ गाय. बट आई नीड टू हैव, आई एम नॉट सेइंग द सेम रोल. आई नीड टू हैव समथिंग which is like I can give a, you see, end of the day now after 40 years we have our experience. We are not talented, but we are student of cinema. I think for national audience I want to give a new what do you say, experience with my character.
Correct.
तो वैसा कैरेक्टर अगर मिले तो मैं करूँगा.
This brings me at a very important question, because when we see actors your age who are now getting brilliant roles, everything is centered around them. Earlier it was like एक हीरो होगा, एक हीरोइन होगी, बाकी लोग character roles करेंगे. Things are changing, and there's the discussion about pay parity for senior actors and same actors, like because ये होता है कि भाई अगर आप leading man हो तो आपका अलग payment होता है. Have you faced anything like that, and do you think that is relevant in today's times?
Today it's relevant, number one, and number two, it's been like when we do in Bangla or any language, in a way we are language. I always say that we are coming from a language. It has its own pattern. It's been set pattern from long time, and we need to adopt it. That's it.
Okay, I have seen reviews about your performance, and I always see people going gaga. Like I always see Anupama, going completely mad with words. In a career of 40 years, I'm sure you've received good reviews, bad reviews, and in terms of social media, क्या आपके साथ कभी ऐसा हुआ है that you faced trolling?
हाँ, थोड़ा सा तो हुआ, मतलब बहुत कम. बहुत कम. First of all, I will tell you that I'm not a very, मतलब क्या बोलते हैं, मतलब सोशल मीडिया पे मैं हूँ,
हाँ.
मेरा रिच है, पीपल लाइक इट,
बहुत रीच है, बहुत फॉलोअर्स हैं,
बट आई एम नॉट दैट आई विल गो ऑन डूइंग समथिंग. ठीक है, विद द टाइम विच इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, अगेन आई एम सेइंग फॉर द जुबली, दैट वो जो एक ऑरा स्टार्स, यू सी टुडे सलमान, अजय, शाहरुख, हमारे जो टाइम है ना, दैट समवेयर टू मच ऑफ एक्सपोजर आई डोंट बिलीव, एंड वी शुड टू हैव दैट स्टारडम आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट, बट इट इज़ ऑल्सो इम्पॉर्टेंट. सो उसको बैलेंस करना, जैसे द वे अमित जी करते हैं, तो आई लव अमित जी द वे ही हैंडल्स हिज सोशल मीडिया. बट इन अ वे या ट्रोल हुआ था थोड़ा सा, मतलब गड़बड़ हो गया, लाइक माई ट्रोल इज लाइक बच्चा जैसा होता है, मतलब हाउ आई डोंट नो व्हाई आई सडनली माई सन वाज वेरी हंग्री एंड आई थिंक द फूड डिडंट कम एंड आई सेड यार somebody should look out, मतलब 3, 3:30, 4 बजे तक वेट किया, तो he was like in tears. I wrote something which became, but nothing very serious level. And let me tell you one thing, ये तो social media अभी आया. Today whatever I am, because I got to learn from my you know, the critics.
Oh, so you
अगर
value
कोई
their opinion?
I do that. You see today's date, if you have to rectify yourself, I'm talking about real film critics. ये लाइन को आप ध्यान रखना, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. जो इंटरनेशनल फिल्म देखते हैं, जो फिल्म के बारे में पढ़ाई लिखाई किया, उसका क्रिटिक, उसका कुछ भी मैं उसको मानता हूँ, और मैंने सीखा आज, मतलब मैंने अपने आप को डेवलप किया. बट मैं कोई डॉक्टर को जाके अगर बोलूँ कि आपको ना ऐसा पेशेंट देखना है, तो या आपको मैं सिखाऊं कि आपको ना ऐसा बात करना है, हमें पूछना है, या तो इट इज़ योर जॉब, आई कांट बी अ जॉकी.
But sir, I'm very surprised जिस तरह का stardom and जो you know, like people almost have reverence for you. For a person and an artist like that, आपको नहीं लगता कि ईगो बीच में आ जाता है कभी-कभी कि मैं क्यों इनकी सुनूं?
अभी तक तो हुआ नहीं. मैं बिल्कुल नहीं हुआ, बिल्कुल नहीं. See, I am blessed that I had worked with, I mean, how do I say? I mean, people even will not understand. Tapan Sena, Tarun Majumdar, to Ritu Panda Ghosh, to Gautam Ghosh, to Buddhadev Das Gupta. Today I am working with Srijit Mukherjee, Kaushik Ganguly, and Vikram Dibakar. So I've done a show with a small character, but a very important character with Hansal. तो मैं blessed हूँ यार. And an actor-director's relationship is most important, I think, that bonding. Otherwise, it doesn't come out.
And you've had that bonding very awesome. Like I was googling some unknown facts about you. People have done your makeup also. So, sir, I want to know from you that अगर एक कोई बंगाली फिल्म आप रीमेक करना चाहेंगे या एक प्लेटफॉर्म पे एज अ शो लाना चाहेंगे, वो कौन सा प्रोजेक्ट होगा?
देखिए, शो तो मुझे पता नहीं, बिकॉज दिस इज माई डेब्यूट. जुबली इज माई डेब्यूट इन OTT. सो आई विल, हाँ, मतलब ऑफकोर्स आई थिंक 22 श्रावण.
Okay.
Kind of a thing. Chokher Bali to people had seen.
Yeah. And who would you cast?
Yeah. 22 श्रावण.
Yeah.
Ajay Devgan.
Oh.
My character.
Nice. तो अजय सर, आपको एक फिल्म मिलने वाली इनके थ्रू?
नहीं, वो कैरेक्टर में और किसी को देख नहीं पाता हूँ.
बट एक बात मुझे जाननी है, एक्टिंग हमने बात कर ली, डायरेक्शन की बात भी हम करें, पर ये बॉय बैंड में भी आप रह चुके हैं, एंड वो कहाँ से आया और वहाँ से सीधे एक्टिंग कैसे? एंड डू यू स्टिल परस्यू
बॉय बैंड, मतलब that was like,
व्हाट वाज द नेम? आई वेट, आई
तूफान मेलोडी.
या तूफान मेलोडी.
वो क्या है ना, हमारे घर पे थोड़ा गाना म्यूजिकल वो था, मतलब my daddy also used to sing very good song. He was a good singer, in fact. He had records around. तो मेरे घर पे वो था, मतलब, and then you know that time this band concept was not that. I'm talking about 30 years back. But हमारे एक ग्रुप होता था ना, शाम को हम लोग बैठ के, I used to play drum. I learned really tabla. One of my cousin who was little elder to me, he used to, that time this small accordion came. V Balsara. So वैसा करते करते थे, शाम को हम लोग ना वो रिकॉर्ड चला गया था, रिकॉर्ड, तो वो रिकॉर्ड चला के अपने प्रैक्टिस करते. And it happened, ऐसा भी हो गया कि suddenly we have been like asked to be with big actors like Uttam Kaur and my dad. They were singing and उनका बैंड का कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो गया था, and they were so happy कि तुम लोग बजाओ, हम लोग गाना गाएंगे on a professional show. So it was a huge journey, and then and after that I became an actor. But I still
now
love.
Do you want to pursue it?
होता नहीं है, but still if I see drum और तबला में बैठ जाता हूँ.
क्या बात
है ना, वो कनेक्ट है
यार. वी शुड हैव गॉट दैट.
बस सेट पे ना कभी कभी ऐसा गाना वाना होता है ना, तो ड्रम आ जाता है, तो एवरीबॉडी नोज, शॉट चल रहे हैं, मैं बैठ जाता हूँ वहाँ पे उन लोगों के साथ.
अच्छा, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज, आपने अपने सोशल मीडिया पे आपने कहा बहुत ज्यादा आप एक्टिव रहते नहीं, बट कभी आपने कमेंट्स पढ़े? डू यू नो व्हाट इज द मोस्ट आस्क्ड क्वेश्चन?
Why you don't do this dhishum film? That's the
and-
one thing.
and-
Why don't you do that commercial, hardcore commercial?
So what is the answer?
I want to do something for them, but I need to get a right script. मैं 10 साल से वो नहीं कर रहा हूँ, but I will surely do something like I am a huge fan of one person, उसमें से कमल हसन. उसने जैसा comeback किया ना, a very proper character like Vikram. I will try to do something for them. I want to do something for them, but I need to get a right script. मैं 10 साल से वो नहीं कर रहा हूँ, but I will surely do something like I am a huge fan of one person, उसमें से कमल हसन. उसने जैसा comeback किया ना, a very proper character like Vikram. I will try to do something for them, but
Awesome.
not the film which I used to do.
Awesome. Okay, one more question that is asked on your social media, and I think you've already answered, but for your fans we can once again say is that आप इतने fit कैसे रहते हैं? Give us a fitness tip.
देखिए, अभी तक मैं I take money from my producer, so I'm answerable. And he's asking me this question, I have to answer him. और सबसे बड़ी चीज़ है, तो आप लोगों ने मतलब you people had given me that support for last 40 years to make you happy. So if an actor is not fit, I can't do a lot of things. तो आप लोगों के लिए मैं अपने आप को बहुत चीज़ों से मतलब अपने आप को दूर रखता हूँ, ताकि मैं फाइनली थ्रू सिनेमा, थ्रू सिल्वर स्क्रीन में आप लोगों को कुछ दे सकूँ. तो यू गिव मी दैट पावर.
You know, it's actually, while doing interviews, you don't really give compliments, but it is incredible to see the kind of, आपका जो humble attitude है. There was this thing that I was reading about Keanu Reeves, that there was a time where he, didn't take his fee and was working and gave his money to his technicians. And there's a similar incident that has happened that we've heard about you, that there was a time where you were working back to back to save technicians. Can you tell me more about that?
It is not safe, but when we started in our industry, it was really in a bad position. It was not into that position now we have. So there used to be a time, तब तो मोबाइल नहीं था. मैं अगर आउटडोर में 20-25 दिन चला गया तो टेक्नीशियंस लोग ना, because I used to do 3, 4 shifts. So आउटडोर में फ़ोन करके बोलते थे कि दादा आप जल्दी आ जाओ.
And you shared your number?
Yeah, everybody had my number. तब मोबाइल नहीं था, बट फिर भी आई सेड व्हाई. बोल 3-4 फ्लोर्स पे काम नहीं हो रहा है, आप आउटडोर में 20 दिन हो तो कैसा चलेगा. तो मैं बोला ठीक है. सो आई यूज्ड टू टेक देम टुगेदर बिकॉज आई हैड सीन दी वेरी आई विल टेल यू वन थिंग. आई कांट ग्रो if my industry or my technicians or my producer or my director, if they doesn't grow, I will not grow.
Beautiful.
I am part of them.
Yeah.
They are not for me.
Correct.
I don't believe cinema happens with one person.
Beautiful
It is a
thought.
team.
Beautiful thought. Okay, sir, I want to know, since you are called a masterclass on acting, there are many people who want to come to the industry or already have come to the industry. What is that one thing that you would say that stick by it and this will sail you through your career?
That's a very difficult thing. I'll sit with you on this session because I really need to say a lot of things about this.
You can say a lot of things.
But in a way which I always share it to my, especially to the people who come and tell me, Dada, just tell me this. I say, one very simple thing is, if you want to be an actor especially, that this what I started believing when I was around, I was like very young, that don't try to wear your success. अगर मैं जुबली लेके ज़्यादा दिन रहूँ ना, तो मैं सेकंड जुबली नहीं कर पाऊँगा.
Correct.
तो मैं सबको बोलता हूँ, you don't wear a success, but if you fail somewhere, हमारी भी फिल्म्स फ्लॉप होती है ना, then be with that, live with that, take care of it. उसको थोड़ा सा मतलब जैसे डॉक्टर करते हैं, उसको ऑपरेशन करो, रिसर्च करो, why you failed, then you will give your next success. Wow. So I think that is one very important thing, and patience is of course important.
But don't you feel that if you're not enjoying your success, like Jubilee right now?
हाँ जी, वो ना एक टाइम होना चाहिए. मतलब सक्सेस, इट्स अ टाइम. ओके, you see, my first film, which was Platinum Jubilee, ran for 75 weeks.
Wow.
अगर मैं सेकंड फिल्म से पहले उसी को पकड़ के रखूँ ना,
Correct.
I will not be able to the second film hit. Correct. That's my maybe I am totally.
No, that's a brilliant.
मतलब I always say success को रखो एक certain time के लिए, but don't get carried away with success.
Wow.
Then that will be dominating you. We are all human beings, right? We are emotional people, we are human beings. We all have our common things between us. तो उसको ज़्यादा वो मत करो, मतलब चढ़ने मत देना, उसको हटा दो. When I had given 3 to one of the team, like producer, director, me, together. I have given line after one. One super hit, second उससे भी बड़ा hit, third उससे भी बड़ा. Fourth film when they came, I said stop. I'm not going to do the 4th one.
Really?
आप किसी और से करो. 5th one I will do. I need a break.
Wow.
वो confidence बढ़ जाता है कि यार हम लोग जो कर रहे हैं hit हो रहा है, जो कर रहे. I said no. You take another for somebody. आप लोग 4th film कर लो. 5th again I will do. I need a break. Because I was feeling that whatever we are doing is a hit. Whatever we are doing is a hit. तो उसको ना फिर बैलेंस करके थोड़ा टाइम लेके अपने पैर अपना जमीन पे रख के जैसा अपना नॉर्मल है उसमें आके then you do the 4th one.
But as an actor, don't you feel like, you know, if someone like जब आपकी फिल्म इतनी बड़ी हिट हो जाती है और आपको लोग वही लोग जो आपके साथ काम कर चुके हैं and they're giving you crazy money, that will also not like make you change your decision?
वाह सर, मैं आपको एक चीज़ बताता हूँ. आप कलकत्ता के कोई भी प्रोड्यूसर को फ़ोन करके अभी पूछ लीजिए. और इनफैक्ट ऑल द बिग प्रोड्यूसर आई हैव वर्कड विद अराउंड 20 फिल्म्स ऑन एवरेज, 15 to 20 फिल्म. मैं ना वो सोच के काम ही नहीं करता हूँ. When sometimes it happens like if I get a script, I know maybe this is a very different kind of a film, the kind of शेषपात I did. तो मैं अपना टीम को बोलता हूँ मुझे करना है इसको.
Oh. That is the next project I'll come to talk about because I've heard so much about it. But before that, I still have some questions left. So, आपने बताया कि आपने कुछ लोगों को मना किया even though you worked with them. What is the reason you said no to Sajan and मैंने प्यार किया?
No, I didn't say no to that. Forget about it. I don't want to talk about it. But yeah, you see, I don't want to look back. There is no. I mean, आपको एक चीज़ बताना पड़ेगा. हर चीज़ के लिए ना एक अच्छा चीज़ खड़ा रहता है. And I think India has got the biggest star from मैंने प्यार किया. And वो that was a plus point. और मैंने किया नहीं. देखो हर चीज़ ना ऐसा सिर्फ 2 पिक्चर नहीं, ऐसा शायद और भी 20 पिक्चर मिलेगा जो मैंने नहीं किया वो सुपर हिट हो गया. बट आई डोंट लुक बैक इनटू इट. व्हाट कुछ चीज़ तो वी कांट चेंज. जो भी है वो तो दैट इज़ वन. बट देयर वाज नो लाइक रीज़न. ऐसा नहीं है कि मैंने नहीं किया इसलिए वो पिक्चर. No, it happened. I was audited. I was audition दिया था, हो गया. नहीं वो छोड़ दो. मतलब that I don't want to talk. Cool. But India got the biggest star.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah. And India also woke up to a fantastic actor with Jubilee. And now coming to your next project, which you just spoke about, Sheshpata. I have been told that you are getting rave reviews, although because I've not seen it because I don't.
Sajan ऐसा नहीं था. I didn't do. Sajan setup ही कुछ और था. It was like me, Rishi Kapoor ji and वो सेटअप भी अलग था.
अच्छा.
Then it was like was not happening and it happened after long.
Okay. Super. So that's something that you didn't know and we found out only here. अच्छा सर, मुझे शेषपाटा के बारे में आपसे ज़रूर बात करनी because I have been told that you're getting some rave reviews also because I don't understand the language. I've not really seen it. What is the best compliment you have received?
It's very difficult to say it. I mean, from Jubilee and Sheshpatan, it got released in a week's time, basically. It was the 7th of April.
Correct.
And Sheshpata got released on 14th April. And both are creative character. But वो North Pole, South Pole hai. I think people are getting huge, like, I think I was just talking to them, one of those huge big writers, he said, I mean, he's a very senior journalist from a very important. So he wrote that 2005 or something we saw Sarkar and Black together in one time. And I called up that person, he wrote, and he answered. और बहुत सालों के बाद ऐसा ही जुबली देख रहा हूँ और शेषपाता देख रहा हूँ. ये आदमी मैंने मैसेज किया और सेम वे माई स्टाइल में सबसे रिप्लाई करता हूँ मैं. तो बोला ये रिप्लाई मिला. आई थिंक द कम्प्लीमेंट इज लाइक आई डोंट नो हाउ टू से. इट्स लाइक फॉर शेषपाता एंड जुबली बोथ I think this is the best time as an actor. I will say it's not me. It is my ma and it's my mother and it's my, of course, Bhagwan, and we wait for this time. दोनों एक अलग-अलग 2 character, और it is simultaneously released. वो एक है. So people are really.
Yeah, I mean, even
if you I am sure you will not watch it, but then also I'm telling you, अगर हो सके तो watch कर ले.
No, I will definitely watch it, but I'll just tell you that only just by
It's a maddening kind of a character.
just by the look of it, it is so different. Your look is different, the feel is different. As an actor, I'm sure it's a brilliant time for you to explore both the characters. But I want you to tell us that whether we talk about Shrikant or we talk about Sheshpata, what is that one thing that you think that only you can bring to the table and something you learned from these two characters?
One thing which I also completely believe, that's the reason I told you only cinema. That's Shrikant Roy.
Only cinema.
That's Shrikant Roy, and I can really bring something on table because with my kind of an experience, I'm a student of cinema for last 40 years. I have learned, I have worked with all the major directors of Indian cinema, I will rather say. I had worked with around 100 directors. I had worked with David Dhawan.
Yes.
So like
Yeah.
तो मैंने हिंदी बंगला बस बहुत सारे डायरेक्टर के साथ काम किया and that experience works I can get and श्रीकांत रॉय का जो passion on cinema. Balmiki have not taught me a lot of things because I'm not like Balmiki, he's a writer. But what I really learned about him that I can live my own way, nobody can dictate me. Balmiki is a very broken man, but उसका वही है कि आप पैसा से मेरे को लिखा नहीं सकते हो. He's a writer. That is the entire thing कि आप कुछ भी बोल दो but you can't make me write.
Yeah.
So आप पैसा देके प्रसेंजीत को एक्टिंग तो नहीं करवा पाएंगे.
ये तो पता चल चुका है. Okay, now sir, last 2-3 questions I just want
I'm
to know.
joking, but yeah.
For the right price. Okay. When we talk about Bengali cinema or we talk about Marathi cinema, there's
I
this.
love Marathi cinema.
Yeah, there's this great literature, plays हैं, theatre, this thing है. What is the reason that you think Bollywood right now is not doing so well and people are now waking up to different kinds of cinema, different kinds of books, different kinds of literature?
No, it's not that they are not doing good. I mean, you see, it's the cinema thing. I mean, I'm talking about the theatre, cinema theatre thing. Everywhere there's a little bit after, especially after pandemic, वो थोड़ा सा मतलब, even people want, now what happened, for after this, especially pandemic, we have a lot of lanes now. That when we used to do films, the entertainment used to be only cinema hall, and which I we say is big screen. Now you have so many screens, and you have so much of entertainment, whether it is an OTT, whether it is a short film, whatever. I think that is one thing that until unless it is something very big, something, so people are trying to go to watch it in the theatre. But at the same time, I think there are a lot of young, good concept, good actors, good directors are coming up in Bombay also. And the best part also, they are searching to get some very fine technicians from throughout the country.
Correct.
वो आप मराठी में भी बोलो, मलयाली में भी बोलो, कुछ भी. Now today's date, as you were saying, like आप प्रसेंजीत का जुबली देख के वो नाम अगर आपको अच्छा लगा, if you type, you at least will get 30-40 of my films in that.
Correct.
तो अगर मलयाली में कोई अच्छी फिल्म देखा ना, अच्छा इसका डायरेक्टर कौन है या तो इसका कैमरामैन कौन है, I can easily search. So that exposure was taught there when we used to work. I think this is a wonderful time, and I think for this, especially for this OTT, you are also, you can do a kind of an experiment जो सिर्फ सिनेमा में नहीं होता है. सिनेमा में सेंसरशिप से शुरू करके वो डायरेक्टर ना अपना कहानी, अच्छा ये चलेगा ये नहीं चलेगा, थिएटर बॉक्स. नाउ यू कैन डू लॉट ऑफ एक्सपेरिमेंटल थिंग विच कैन बी ऑल्सो, अच्छा फिल्म में नहीं देखा तो वो OTT में आके वो वायरल हो जाता है. तो फाइनली द क्रिएटिव पर्सन वांट दैट हाउ मेनी पीपल वॉचेस इट, लाइक आई थिंक दैट्स अ गुड टाइम. एंड इवन इन तमिल, तेलुगु, मलयाली, गुजराती, मराठी तो है ही, अपना बांग्ला, तो एंड एवरी लैंग्वेज हैज देयर ओन way of storytelling. I always say that, and be honest to that. Nothing is like, and Hindi is also doing a lot of good work, very good work.
All right, so let's ask you that question, that जिस तरीके से people are going, I would say bowled over with your performances, who's that director, actor, actress or a technician that has bowled you in the recent times?
I will, of course, I will start talking about my next generation, of course. Like, I always feel very proud talking about one actor called Ritik from Calcutta. I feel he's one of the finest actors in Indian cinema today's date. I feel very proud watching as an actor Nawaz, who had changed that entire myth of like hero ऐसा होना चाहिए. You know,
Correct.
We were like ये hero है,
Yeah.
प्रसन्नजीत hero है, वो change कर दिया वो आदमी ने. So I mean there are a lot of actors के. So I have a lot of respect towards it. Of course the legend people are there. I mean if I talk about Amit ji, then it's Uttam Kumar, Shardul Chatterjee, where Kamal sir I told about it. So
Yeah.
वो बहुत है मतलब I'm talking about another person who is like my favorite. He's always been, and he is going to be my favorite. Is Gurudat ji, as a director, as an actor. He's been always my favorite.
Yeah.
तो ऐसा तो बहुत है, and directors भी बहुत सारा अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं. बॉम्बे हो या मलयाली हो या मराठी हो.
Anybody in particular you'd like to work with?
Mani sir,
Okay.
Mani Ratnam sir. I'm a huge fan of Mani sir, and in Bombay. किसका नाम लूँ मैं हर I missed working with Shujoy and Shujit also, Anurag also, of course even Anurag Basu and Anurag Kashyap ये भी हैं, but वो ना बहुत अलग है. मतलब अभी क्या है ना वो भी बंगाली है, but I'm talking about not Bengalis, I'm talking about very good directors are doing a lot of good films, you know.
Correct.
बहुत सारे अच्छे directors आ गए अभी.
Yeah. And we would like to see you with almost all of them.
Not all of them, but I think these are the good. I mean, this generation, the plus point that I've met them, वो ना हर language के अच्छे actor लोगों का काम देख रहे हैं.
Correct.
Study कर रहे हैं.
Correct.
That is a very good plus point, you know.
Yeah.
That's something I think is a good time to get a lot of creative people from different language.
Okay, before I close this, sir, आपने क्योंकि नवाज का नाम लिया था, नवाज ने एक recent interview में कहा था कि भाई, like you said, he's a brilliant actor. A lot of people say that he's a brilliant actor, but he said that nobody would probably make a 100 crore film with him as a lead. You've been a superstar in your own career. Do you think that this is a problem that some actors face after a certain age, और ऐसा नहीं है?
This also I will not be able to answer because you know we are coming from a very different industry. एक industry का अलग-अलग वो होता है. But I don't see why somebody will not spend 100 crores on Nawaz. Yeah. If you can, you know, there was a film जिसमें इरफान सर भी थे. Suppose I'm talking about a film like how do I give an example? Uncle Tom के अपना बचपन का कुछ. So if suppose somebody does a film like based on him, and you need to spend that money for the film, why will not people? उसका ना कोई वो नहीं होता है. मतलब that is not a right. I think that is where we go wrong somewhere.
Well, thank you so much for being with us. I just have to say one thing, that most people who know me and watch my interviews know that I've never been this quiet in an interview. And
sorry.
No. I mean that is because Jubilee for me opened up a new acting ki master class. And besides that, when I started talking to him, now I know why people call him Dada, because there is this innate respect जो आता है आपको उनसे बात करते हुए. Thank you so much for giving me time, and thank you so much for talking to me and making me understand that you have to give everything to cinema.
Thank you so much.
Sir. Thank you so much.